What if I told you we already had the technology to travel to the stars and beyond? It was 2005. Gary McKinnon, a British hacker searching for proof of suppressed technology, mainly UFOs and free energy, was arrested for hacking into US military servers. During a period of 13 months, from February 2001 to March 2002, McKinnon hacked in 97 US military and NASA computers, including servers belonging to US Army, US Navy, US Air Force, Department of Defense, and NASA. Although, is it really hacking if your password is literally password? During his 13-month deep dive, McKinnon stumbled upon something that would change everything. An Excel spreadsheet listing hundreds of US Navy personnel assigned to something that shouldn't exist. List of ships that don't exist in the US Navy database. Ships with designation USSS. Fleet-to-fleet transfers and names of non-terrestrial officers. Not to be lazy, McKinnon cross-checked everything, the names of the officers, the names of the ships, the terms in the Navy's database, and lo and behold, they weren't listed in the official records. They say proof is in the pudding. I say proof is in the boring paperwork no one bothers to read. Enter Section 912 of the Defense Bill, buried in the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year of 2012, authorizing the Secretary of Defense to purchase and deliver space vehicles. Department of Defense, that's Pentagon, not NASA. The same Pentagon that's been unable to account for $2.3 trillion for 24 years. They didn't even have a financial audit before 2018, and I bet they're regretting that decision of attempted transparency because since 2018 they failed their own audit 7 times in a row. That's every single year. Only about 39% of Pentagon's assets can be properly accounted for. The rest, unreconciled discrepancies. They either have the worst accountant in history or spending habits of cosmic proportions. Don't worry, they said that they will get their accounts in order by 2027, but statistically speaking, I think it's more likely that I will pass, finally, my driving license for a spaceship. Allegedly called Solar Warden, this secret fleet that operates under USA Naval Network and Space Operations Command is compiled of military and civilian personnel from various global powers like USA, Russia, China, Australia, UK, France, Canada. Yes, spookies, they're working in space while selling you that geopolitical ooga booga, we hate each other Kool-Aid for the masses, and their mission protecting our star system against outside threats. You must be wondering,
where did they get their ships and technology?
This is where things get hairy and murky. Let's go back to our Roswell episode. Remember the treaties we mentioned with the Greys and Nordics in 1950s? Enter William Tompkins, a Navy insider who worked at Douglas Aircraft Company's think tank on designs for large naval spacecraft carriers in the 1950s and who was able to provide a significant amount of documentation supporting his claims and paint the picture of how these contractors and military factions like Lockheed's Skunk Works, hi Pookie, NASA led by Werner von Braun, Navy, Air Force, all interacted and were subtly guided by competing extraterrestrial factions, mainly Nordics and reptilians, who hate each other, though surprised considering reptilian dietary habits. Tompkins' testimony is another proof that confirms the existence of Solar Warden fleet because it lays the foundation for what Gary McKinnon stumbled upon 50 years later. It's important to add that Gary McKinnon didn't see the name Solar Warden. It was something that was added later onto his testimony. But the names are pure semantics in my opinion. Maybe that was the old name. Maybe it's a nickname among the servicemen, but not the official name of the program. Or maybe it was a name that was released to muddy the waters. It's irrelevant. What's important is that we have a substantial amount of evidence for its existence. Even more so when in recent Congress hearings, military whistleblowers named certain contractors like Lockheed as ones in possession of reversed engineered craft. And what do you think they've been doing with that craft for 70 years? You don't spend trillions of dollars and decades of work on something only to let it gather dust in some moldy hangar. Let's not be naive bimbos, babes. Critical thinking is hot. Let us end with a quote from late Ben Rich, the second director of Lockheed's Skunk Works, who said, "We already have the means to travel among the stars. But these technologies are locked up in black projects and it would take an act of God to ever get them out to benefit humanity. Anything you can think of, we already know how to do." Maybe the act of God won't come through some Hollywood-worthy miracle where the skies open with a fanfare and a hero emerges. Maybe we are the act of God. Fractals of souls who woke up one day and decided it was enough.